Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a blog um, about last week. So it's regarding my health again. So I did one last time as well, but after that video, after 2 days to be precise, I had a really bad chest pain. Actually, I was crying like a child, because I wanted to be back to being normal, and it was hurting a lot. And I have had cold for more than 3 weeks now. So this is most probably the fourth week. So I never had chest pain before whilst having cough and cold. I do have sinus problem. I mentioned this in my previous videos. I do have sinus problem because last year around same time during summer I was suffering from cold as well. 1 week I had cold, then I used to get better, then I used to have cold again. So it was like within a very short period of time. But at that time when I had it, I had sinus problem. So very bad headache, pain around the area where normally sinus, when people have sinus, they have problems. So then this year, this year, I just out of the blue. I mean, I did used to have chest pain every now and then, and I think my chest pain started after I had my second child. Even during pregnancy with my second child, I had called ambulance a couple of times due to chest pains. So really, the chest pain started after um, I conceived my second child. So the pain used to come on and off, on and off. Some days used to be worse, and I had called the ambulance, you know, around March as well. And after waiting for long hours, the doctor just checked on me briefly, and he didn't give me any such medications or, antibiotics to get rid of the pain. He just said that your heart rate is quite low and that you need to walk, because I'm an accountant and I have a sitting job. So he said you need to move around a lot. So which I had been doing, and then I felt like my heart was doing okay. But then on the week that I had cough, the cough started. At that time, I didn't have the chest pain straight away. So that week, I had like really terrible cough. And with the cough came other pains as well. But then I was sort of getting, recovered, and then I went back to work. So I had already started going to work, then I was fine. I still had a little bit of cough left. And then somebody at work caught cold again. And I think that kind of triggered my second, cough and cold. In the first one, my nose wasn't runny as much, but then in the second one, my nose started to become runny. I felt very lethargic, dizzy as well, and very tired, and then my chest started to hurt a little for 2 days. But I didn't think of anything of that. I thought it's just, one of those chest pains that comes and goes away. But then the next day, after my first chest pain on Friday night, on Saturday, the pain became very bad. It was excruciating pain. I was feeling so tired, I couldn't walk. I was trying to push the pram, but I just didn't have the energy. And that's when we thought of calling the ambulance. Well, we didn't think of calling the ambulance, but we thought of calling 111 because we never get appointment in the GP where I live. So called 111, and then the ambulance guys came in. They did all the oxygen level, blood pressure checkup, and they did an ECG scan on me as well, and they asked me a couple of questions: when did it happen, how it happened, and everything. And then my ECG report showed that the report was very similar to last time. There was not so much of change. The only difference being that this time the pain was persistent. It didn't go away. But then the one of the crew also listened to my heartbeat, and he listened to my chest, and then he said that you need to. It would be a good idea to go to the doctors if you want antibiotics, because it feels like you might have a chest infection. So then, yeah, in that moment, I also cried a lot because I was like, I didn't want, to go to the hospital. I didn't have good experience in the hospital from the very past. So I just didn't want to go to the hospital. I mean, nobody wants, right? So then, so after giving the kids something to eat, so we all decided to go to A&E, and then I think there was a long wait, and A&E was closed at 12 o'clock. We were not told that. We were just made to wait. I told my husband and kids to, sleep in the car, and I should be okay in there by myself. So time ticked and ticked. 1 hour, 2 hours, they transferred me to another department, another waiting area, and I kept on waiting, thinking I'd be seen. We reached there around 10:30 actually. So, and then I had to wait the whole night because they said the waiting time has increased to 10 hours now. Instead of saying emergency, instead of saying the emergency department has been closed, they just said the waiting hours is 10 hours. That is not, I think, a good, you should be clear, when explaining to people who are waiting, so that they know that the department is closed, and if you want to come back tomorrow morning, then you can come back. It's just that you're gonna lose your spot on the waiting list, and you'll be put at the back. They could have said that, but they didn't, because waiting in the hospital for almost like 12 hours before I was seen, it was very difficult. I had to ask for painkillers at least 2 times, and sitting on the chair and sleeping is not easy. So I think that was the only not so good experience part during this visit, because if we were informed, then I would have just gone home and come back the next morning, because I had small kids waiting in the car, so they didn't get to have proper sleep, and nor did my husband, or nor did I. And with the chest pain, it wasn't a great experience to be there. So I got my car. So after, the doctor also looked into why some of my organs, on sudden movements used to go under my ribs, left rib. But upon doing scan and ECG scan again, and blood pressure, blood test, nothing was seen. But he concluded that I had some chest infection and some antibiotics was needed. But anyhow, once we reached home, I was so tired. I didn't have any energy whatsoever, because I hadn't eaten for quite long as well, and didn't have proper sleep. So it was a nightmare, and there were so many other people as well. And because of chest pain, you know, I was not being able to have a nap as well, because it wasn't an easy experience, as you can see. If I remember, then it's like a nightmare. But anyhow, after reaching home, we were so tired, we just fell asleep. We reached home around 1ish, 2ish, after getting the medications, and then we slept. We had something to eat, and I think after that, I started to take my antibiotics, and this is the 5th day. you know so after having the antibiotics for the first 2 days, I didn't feel any difference, and I was like, it's not working, and I don't want to be like this all the time. And when you go through such situation, which is a matter of death and life, then you sort of remember your kids. I'm not sure if I've said it correctly, but anyways, remember your kids. So the first 2 days I didn't see any changes. Then on the third day I saw a little bit of change. Yesterday I was feeling a little bit better, so I thought I'd be able to go back to work. So I dressed, you know, I got all dressed up going to work, but then I realized that I'm not ready yet. I still needed some rest, and that's why I couldn't go to work today as well. But I'll make another video soon. My storage is running out, so hopefully I'll make another video to update you on this in the second part. Thank you so much if you're listening to this. I'm sorry if this was a boring topic, but I'll talk about this a little bit more when I get enough storage on my phone. Alright then, thank you, bye.